live.
Hello, welcome to Newark SAA headquarters. My name's Peter Millward. I'm here today to show you something about Chinese painting. This is an SAA bamboo brush and pen, and I'll just start by showing you, so that you don't get lost, what the sizes are on the brushes. So, big brush is Da, which is like that, so that's a big brush. A medium brush is Zhong, so that's medium size. And a small brush is Xiao. So, a big brush, a medium brush, and a small brush. So, through the SAA, they're the three brushes. So, when we do Chinese painting in this style, which is Shehi freestyle, we need brush strokes, or bihua as they're called, to do the Shehi freestyle of painting. So Dian is a dot, one brush mark. Heng is a horizontal line as a brush mark. Shu is a vertical brush stroke. Pierre is diagonal, coming down. T is a lifting stroke. And the final one, Na, is the thin, fat, thin one, where you try and keep the top straight and show the belly of the brush at the back of the brush stroke. So, Dian, Heng, Shu, Pierre, T, Na are the basic brush strokes. And then to practice those, by just writing one bit of calligraphy, Dian, go, Shu, Heng, Shu, go, Heng, Pierre, Pierre, Na is the final brushstroke. So we've got a word there, which means forever, eternity, and it's a riverbank, and the water throwing between the two riverbanks. So that's how we do a piece of calligraphy, incorporating these strokes. But from now on, I'm going to show you how we use these brushstrokes in the painting. So just put that to one side. And the paper is just here. So, larger piece of paper. If I can just separate it. Yeah. All right. So these are paper weights, and they stop the paper moving around. Because the paper's so absorbent, the brush can get stuck to the paper and move it around. So to avoid that, we weigh it down with paper weights. This is the ink stick, that's the ink stone. To make the ink, you rub the wet stone to make the ink, like that. So that produces the ink there. Without using, you can use brushes to load the ink stick, but this is a water dropper, so if you just do that, water comes out to fill the inkstone so that you can grind it. Now, these brushes are called hakes, so if I wet one of those, pick up some grey ink from here, and then just darken it a bit on each side. Do a little wiggle, go along, lift off. Do a little wiggle, go along, lift off. Do a little wiggle, and off the paper. So, this time, use a slightly bigger hake. So, again, wet it, knock off the excess moisture, get some grey, some sort of a colour, grey ink, just tip the sides, wiggle it a little bit, go along, off, wiggle it, go along, off, and off the paper. So that's a second one, and this one should work. Just put a bit more water on there, a bit more ink to get a wash onto the brush. Whoop. All right, now then. just pick a bit of ink up on there. So that this time we've got a ginormous one. So along, off, along, off, and off the paper. Now to decorate that, we come back to the brush again to do the knuckles. So down, flick, down, flick, down, flick, down, flick. So coming back to brush strokes again, this is hang, really, as a brush stroke. This is dien, the dot, and a flick, dien, flick, dien, flick, dien, flick. You can go right across and then flick it, right across and flick it. Just put that extra one in there. So that's the poles with hakes, so that's easy enough. Then we do the side shoots, and those where the leaves are going to come from. Dragonfly's eyes, there, put one in there, dragonfly's eyes. So it's just a case of getting these on opposite sides, so not either side, but alternate sides. So that can be coming up there. That's there, there, there. So this one, well, we're growing up the side there, there, dragonfly's eyes. So we've set the whole picture now to do the leaves. Now the leaves, it's a matter of pressing and lifting all in one go. So press, lift, press, lift, press, lift, press, lift. So side shoots, one, whoops. So pressing and lifting to get the stroke. So sometimes it runs, but that doesn't matter. It's all part of the process. Dry brush is called fei ba, flying white. So it looks like light landing on that side, strong sunlight. So we just get one there. There's nothing on that side. So we can write what it is just down here. Bamboo. So there's bamboo. So you normally put what it is, your name, and then the date. So that's what it is. I can write my name. Right, so that's what it is, my name, and I haven't got room for the date. But what I can do, wherever they are, here they are. These are my name seals. So Bede, Peter, Millward, Millward. So I can put that one at the bottom, which is the same as that, Bede. And then Millward, which is this one. Get it right way around there. So what it is, my name, and the seal. So that's that one finished. And this paper is very thin. We go on to mount them, like these are done at the back, by turning it upside down when it's bone dry, putting glue on the back and sticking it to card or more paper. So that's that one. I'll just put that out of the way. So that's bamboo. The orchid is quite easy to do. If I just put the weights on. Right. Now for this we need colour, and this is a nice bigger brush. This is like wolf hair, and wolf hair is very soft, very springy, like western sable hair. So fraction of the price. Now if I get some, don't know if the camera can see that, that's stone blue as a Chinese colour. Just tip it with a bit of red, I think, just to give it an added quality. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The petals of the Orchid. Tip it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're bearing in mind the composition and trying to make an asymmetrical composition rather than a symmetrical one. So 1, 2, 3. Right, now then. So they're closed up because they're at the top of the flower. The ones are more open at the bottom of the flower. So 4 is not recommended, so we add another one to make the number up 5. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 8 is a lucky number if you could squeeze 8 on, but not today. I haven't got enough room. So with indigo, to make a green in Chinese paint, start with indigo. So indigo and a bit of gamboge to make green. So we've got a green with indigo and gamboge. So now we can do the leaves. So it's always flowers and then the leaves. That's the set order. And we don't put it in the middle, we have it off the centre. So nice big graceful brush strokes for the leaves. Now it doesn't matter that they've become a bit tatty at the end, because as I've already told you, that's fei ba, flying white. So that's a good aspect. So if that happens, don't worry about it. Don't try and go over it, because it spoils the spontaneity of it. So we just add a few more strokes here, right, to finish off the flower. And then we want the stem. So raw burnt sienna, attach it to the top flower, and in previous demonstrations I've referred to this as the dancey brushstroke. So here we go, along a bit, stop, along a bit, stop. You're dancing through the composition, and then hook them on so that they've all got a place, are hooked on. Then the last thing of all, as the painting goes, is to put the calyx on. So it's dian, go, little flicks. That isn't open, so you can't see them. This one is open, so we can put that one there. And dian, go, put one there. So that's the pollen in the middle of the flower. And we can say that this is a spring orchid. So we can write, loose here, we can write chun for spring, chun, and it's a flower, hua. So straight line, 2 rabbit's ears, well that's how I remember it anyway. A T gone wrong, shu wang go, and a Pierre stroke. So that's what it is. Spring flower. Subject, I write my name. Beda. Right. Now there's a bit of a crease there, but anyway we'll work around that. So subject name, now the date. Now at the moment we're in the year of the monkey. And in the 60-year calendar cycle, it goes like this. So you fill the box, and then shut the box. And then Nian for the year is at the end. So that's the actual year. These are the numbers for the year in the 60-year calendar cycle. So we need to put my name on. So the Beda, that's that one. Put that there. Millward there. And there's a seal here for spring, which is chun. So we'll just put that on as well. So that's chun for spring. There. So that's chun, spring. So if you didn't want to do any calligraphy on your painting, as long as you've got a reasonable number of seals carved, you can just put seals on, which is probably the easiest thing to do if you're not proficient in calligraphy. So that's that one finished. Again, we back it by turning it upside down, putting paste on the back, and gluing it onto mount board, something like that, so it's stable. The next one is chrysanthemum. So we just stop that moving around, and this brush, which is another wolf type springy brush. So we want a nice positive colour, like this vermilion type of colour, and we go for the first flower. So 1, 2, just build up the petals of the chrysanthemum. So you imagine that there's a focal point and you're trying to get all the brush strokes towards that focal point. They're all coming up to that imaginary bullseye in your mind's eye. So they're all going up to that point. So we've got that one there. I have another one about here, which is not so big.
Your head's creeping into shot there, Peter.
Right, okay. So that's the bigger one, this is the lesser one, because we say guest, host, servant. Those are the ideas, the concepts. So they're all going towards that focal point there. Now the last one is the servant, so very, very small. It's a bud that hasn't really opened. Just see a bit of it. Now, while that's drying, we think of the green that we need for the leaves. So indigo, and a bit of gamboge to make the green. Just tone that down a bit. So we have calexes coming out the back from the base of the flower, so a few sprouts like that, the protective bud. Don't need too many. And then here it's the dien go, so dien go, and one in the middle. So we've got that. The leaves are next, so that's the calyx, the small leaves protecting the flower at the back. And then we put in the great big chrysanthemum leaves. And as I've told you already, we don't have to worry about that being dry brush, because that's the feuille bas. So we keep that in. 1, 2, 3. So there's a leaf coming there. So it's very spontaneous, very quick. If you're too slow with a lot of your strokes, it just runs and makes a mess. So speed is of the essence. Fairly quick painting. And you can always knock them into shape at the end with veins. So the most silly looking daub can be transformed with lines. So something there. Just bring that down there. And that's another aspect. We normally just do one stroke, so we say painting in one breath. You don't have to keep going over and over things. Just let the one brush mark count. That's it. Just let that stay. Now back to burnt sienna for the stems. So join that on, and again it's our dancey brush stroke which comes through the composition. This goes up to there, that can go up to there. Then all these pauses are where you attach the leaves on, so they all find a place. So that's under there somewhere. Now, at these junctures, we add a little bit of darker red paint, because these are the happy dots. So we put happy dots on, just to show a little bit of extra texture. And now these have dried a little bit, we can do the veins while they're still damp. So just getting in the veins. As I say, the most silly looking blob can be turned into a leaf with a few veins. Because they're quite abstract in some senses. Right. That's right. So that's the painting. Now we do the calligraphy. So this is associated with autumn. So we need to do the calligraphy for autumn, which is Xia, autumn. Another loose hair. Right. So symbol for tree. Symbol for tree.
Your head's in shot there.
Alright, so that's the tree. And this is He for fire, because autumn is symbolised by a tree on fire. So that's the autumn symbol. Autumn flower, so Hua for flower. Shu Wang Go, horizontal line there. Right, now I don't want to spoil that, so I can write the rest of it down here. My name, Beda. And we might, in tiny writing, just put the year on. Yeah, just about got enough room. So, seals to finish it off. So bait, that's spring. So put that one to that side. That's the right one, Beda. Put that one in front. And that's the chrysanthemum. Put that to one side. This time I'm going to show you how to load the brush to get different colours on the brush. So if you start with yellow over all the brush, so that's a good loading of yellow over all the brush. To the belly, the middle of the brush, we have that colour there. And then on the tip we have a much darker red. So that to all intents and purposes we've got we've got a whole range of colours on there. Heel has got water in it, so that should soften make that colour pale, as with all the others. The water in the brush softens all the joins. So if we put that brush down, we can get a range of tones like that. Right, just give it a bit of moisture, not too much. And then when you overlap, the subtlety of colour comes out. Right, so overlap that one. And you can read light to dark, light to dark, light to dark there. So that's a big poppy. And right, if you don't want to unravel all that paint, you can just put moisture in, or another colour in the brush by picking up a brush and putting the colour or water, whatever it is you want, into the brush, like that. So that one, so with the extra bit of water, it softened all the joins, made it more subtle. So when we go over there, as I just explained, you get light to dark there, and that's probably about enough for those two there. Now, changing colour back to indigo and gamboge. Indigo and gamboge. We can have a young, I'll put some red in that in a minute, and at the top we try and show the life cycle of the plant. So obviously this is one that has gone over. So we can now start to plot the other things that go with it. So if that comes down there, that comes through there, to there, that can come down, and that can come down. So once we've got that, we can then plot where the other bigger leaves are. Having said we don't want symmetry, I better try and do something about that. So bring that over there. So these are the bigger leaves that get the photosynthesis. But at the same time, you do have little leaves on the stem, because these are oriental poppies. So that would be all dried up because it's gone over, as I say. Not perfect because it's dried up. But these, we do the stroke like that. And just bring them out to a poppy leaf shape. These don't need to be too big because it's still developing. Now these bigger ones, it's just similar to the smaller ones, but there's more of it, of course. think they've all got... Oh, there's this one. So that's at the back. So you just see a little bit of that one poking out. Right, now with the ink brush here, we can detail the seed pod, put some lines on there, holes where the seeds come out. If it was a bit windy, they might have come out already. But because I did this one first, we can do a bit of veining on there, such as it is all dried up, because it's the old one. Right, these veins look better if they're done damp, which is why I'm doing it now. So they come over. Yeah, I must come back to that poppy and put the small petals coming out. I should remember to do that. So to the centre, and then these other veins. That's at the back. That's right. Now in the middle, we've got the pollen, anthostamens, whatever they're called, I'm not quite sure. So put that in there. Right, now this is a summer flower. If I can just... Yeah. Xia, summer... No, that's autumn. So it's... No, Xia is summer. So, horizontal line down a box with 1, 2, so that's summer flower, 2 rabbit's ears, the horizontal line. That's the little story I say to myself to help remember it. But this is Shu Wang Go on the diagonal. Right, I've got room for my name. I can just get my name in there, I think. Another loose hair. So. That's actually the sun. So I've got the sun in my name. So what it is, summer flower, my name, and then the year. And then Nian at the end for the year. Right. So, my name chops. Yeah, that's it. And that is standing for the monkey, because it's the year of the monkey at the moment. So where's the monkey? Ah, there we are. So that we can just put the monkey on next to that symbol, which is for the year of the monkey. So we've got the season, my name, and the year. So we can just put that to one side. Put that under there.
We're about halfway through our time, Peter.
Oh, that might be a good time for a break then.
Excellent. Okay, we'll be back in a minute.
Thank you.
Let us bring out the artist in you. If you'd like to learn how to paint or improve your painting, the SAA, Society for All Artists, is here to inform, encourage and inspire you every step of the way. When you become an SAA member, you get so many benefits, including the free bi-monthly newsletter Paint, packed with inspiring step-by-step projects, fascinating articles, and detailed information to get your creative juices flowing. Discounts on over 13,000 art products featured on the SAA website and in the Home Shop catalogue, with free order line and free delivery in the UK mainland. A devoted SAA team on hand to answer your questions and give you the confidence and motivation you need to start painting and develop at a pace that suits you. Plus, a free welcome pack filled with gifts and practical help to get you started, as well as the opportunity to make friends with like-minded people.
Best thing about being a member is the inspiration from the magazines, to be able to purchase things at a very reasonable price.
Yeah, you get the reduction on all the materials, the advice you get.
I can shop from home.
It's a community.
It seemed like a very friendly sort of organisation.
If somebody's thinking of joining, don't spend too long thinking. Just join. They'll love it.
And we're back.
Hello. Thank you for returning to the SAA headquarters. So I continue my demonstration of Chinese painting. In some of my classes, I do a style called Painting with a Happy Face. So this is the Morning Glory, and the Morning Glory can be various colours. So we start with the happy face, the lip shape, which is Na as a brushstroke because it's thin, fat, thin. I was saying earlier that in this style of Chinese painting, we write the painting, we don't paint the painting, because we're using the calligraphy brushstrokes to make the shapes. So that is Shu as a brushstroke, fat to thin, dagger stroke. That is Na, and that is just two little Shu strokes. So we just keep making those shapes to complete the picture. So one there, pull, pull, pull. And the stem of the flower. So that is the happy face. Stem. Now, as well as those actual flowers, we can have buds. So just 2 strokes to do buds. Just 2 strokes for buds. And the other thing about Chinese composition is we try not to repeat an angle. So thankfully, they're all going at slightly different angles. So 2 there. And let's have 1 there, right? So, now we're not supposed to have 4 of anything. I think I told you that earlier. So we just have to put in another one there. So now, yes, we've got 5 buds and 3 flowers. So we've cured that problem. Now, to show the depth of the flower, we put ink in there, ink in there, ink in there. And then for the calyx of the flower and the buds, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Just put those in. So that's the calyx. So we've got the calyxes. What we need next is the leaves. So indigo and gamboge to make green. in Chinese colours, indigo and gamboge. Oh, I haven't told you how to hold the brush. The middle finger and your thumb actually hold the brush. That rests at the top, so there's a void just there. So it's a natural extension of your hand and arm. And we're normally painting from the shoulder. So, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put some more on that one. Shouldn't do that, should I? 1, 2, 3. Perhaps smaller leaves. And differences in tone, light and dark, warm and cool, small and big things. These are all the opposites, the yins and the yans in the picture. So if we get 3 opposites in a picture, we're doing all right in Chinese aesthetical eyes for this harmony in the picture. So 1 there, 1 there, 1 there. So that's very strong Faber. Right, now 1 there. And we probably just reached the moment when we need the stem, the vine I should say, that it's actually growing on. So the vine can come in from the side and dance about through the picture. So we've got another dancey stroke going through the picture. Now, all these blobs where we've paused are points where we attach the leaves or the flowers onto. So that's the point of making those blobs. So come out, in, attach them all on so that they're all anchored down somewhere or other. Except you, let's have a look at you. Yeah, they're all doing something. That's on there. Yeah, they're all anchored down. Now, a bit of vein on the leaves while they're still damp. Right, these can be a bit darker. Whoops, not so dark. Right, now we've got the vine, we just need the bits that are called tendrils that cling on to various places to pull the plant up so it can grow. So these are the, as I've told you before, in the other previous video, the squiggly wiggly shapes, and we just want little dots to be happy dots on the plant, because these can be new leaves or new stems, etc. Or there could be insects walking about on the plant, so there can be different things. Right, so we've completed that, we just need to put the calligraphy on. So, whoops, let's get that straighter. Yeah, I'll just call this, what are we going to call it? Say a spring flower. So 1, 2, 3. Create the box, put the thing in the box, shut the box. So hua, because it's a spring flower. My name. If it would get to a point, that's it. Ada. And as we've already said several times already, it's the year of the monkey, so we can put that 6-year calendar cycle number in. So all the bits, then shut the box. Now, Nien. Oh, there's Nien. So we've managed to squeeze all that in that we needed. My name. Just get that. One, two, and we've said spring flower, so spring flower is there. Chun, spring. So put that there. And there's another one here which is Fu, good luck. So I put that one on as well. So quite a few chops on that one. But this is another point about yang chops. These white lettering on a red background, they're yang chops. A yin chop is red lettering on a white brown background. So yin chops goes towards the top of the picture, yang chops come towards the bottom of the picture. So most of mine are yang. The only one I've got that is a yin one is this one for friend. So there's friend, harmony, they're all yin chops. They gravitate towards the top. So I'll just put that out of the way.
We can squeeze one more quick painting in, Peter, if you've got one in you.
Right, try a quick one then. Right, one more quick one then. Right, very, very quick. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So, in case you didn't know, they're tulips. So tulips, very simple to do. Right, bit of... Right. Now they have quite fat leaves. Graceful fat leaves. Put one about there. So 2 strokes to do these leaves. Obviously that's going behind that. Comes out the other side. And try and make a bigger one there. That's it. And with a bit of luck, you see, the hairs on the brush create the veins in the structure of the flower. Right, now let's try and bring that coming into there. Coming in, whoops. Alright, that comes into there. So we can, yeah, I have to do 2 leaves because I've just said we're not allowed to do 4 of anything, usually. Golden rule. So if I do a twisting leaf, going down into there, so a twisting leaf, and another one there, just to cover up that. Now, you can, with a bit of luck, show the bulb that it was actually growing from. So there's the bulb. And with a few roots at the end. So we've got the bulb and the bulbs. So it's just, you're painting from memory. You're not doing a photographic painting from life. It's what you've got in your heart, in your imagination. So you're always painting from your mind's eye, not from any direct object. That style is called gong bi, and it's very much like Western painting, where you do an outline and then build up tones and then put the colour on the top. So that's gong bi. There is a style called integrated style, where you do a bit of freestyle and a bit of gong bi combined into the one picture. So there's three main types: Shehi freestyle, which is what I've been showing today, gong bi, and integrated style. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Vic Bearcroft. I've created my half of the postcard and now I'm going to pass it on to my painting partner.
What have you got for me, Vic? Half a skull. What are you trying to say to me, Vic? Are you calling me an old fossil? Okay, let's see what we can do with it.